Have you ever considered that living alone in your later years, something that many people fear, might actually be one of the greatest blessings of aging? For years, society has painted solitude in old age as something to avoid. We're told we'll be lonely, vulnerable, isolated. But what if that's not the whole story? What if growing older and living alone isn't a step backward, but a chance to rediscover yourself, renew your strength, and finally put yourself first? Today, we're going to uncover 5 profound, life-changing benefits of living alone in your golden years. And these aren't just surface-level perks like peace and quiet. No, these are the kinds of changes that ripple through your mental health, emotional clarity, physical well-being, and even your relationships. So, whether you've lived alone for years or you're just beginning to consider it, stay with us. What you hear today might shift your perspective and inspire a renewed sense of empowerment. Because living alone isn't about being alone, it's about choosing your freedom. Let's begin. Number 1. You regain control over your life's rhythm, 1:30 to 10 o'clock. Picture this, you wake up at a time that feels right for your body, not because someone else's alarm went off. You fix your breakfast at 9 or 11, or not at all because you choose. You can go for a walk in the middle of the afternoon or sit quietly with a cup of tea watching the sunset. No obligations, no coordination, no negotiations. That's the first and perhaps most immediate gift of living alone, total control over your daily routine. After years, sometimes decades, of putting others first, whether it was your spouse, your children, your career, or your household, finally, you get to move at your own pace. And this isn't just about comfort. It's about health. Studies show that when seniors are allowed to follow their body's natural rhythm, their stress levels drop, sleep improves, and even digestion gets better. Take James, for instance. At 76, he found himself alone for the first time in over 50 years. At first, he felt lost. But slowly, he started shaping his days around what he needed: slow mornings, walks after lunch, reading in the evenings. No interruptions, no pressure. Just freedom. And as weeks turned into months, something remarkable happened. James felt healthier, lighter, more in sync with himself than he had in decades. Living alone lets you listen to your own body, honor your energy levels, and structure your day in a way that nurtures you. That kind of autonomy, it's not just pleasant, it's powerful. Number 2. Emotional clarity, finding peace in solitude. Now let's talk about something deeper, your inner world. Living alone brings something most of us don't realize we've been missing: emotional clarity. Without the constant background noise of other people's emotions, demands, or drama, you start to hear something much more important: your own thoughts. There's a peace that comes from silence, not loneliness, but silence that invites you inward. You begin to process your feelings more clearly. You understand your moods. You reflect more deeply, and with that reflection often comes healing. Consider Eleanor, a retired nurse who lost her husband a decade ago. In the early years, she hated the silence. She kept the television on just to feel less alone. But over time, that silence became her sanctuary. She started journaling, meditating, listening to music she loved. And in the quiet, she finally had the space to grieve, to remember, and to grow. Solitude, it turns out, helps you recover emotionally. You're no longer reacting to other people's stress or tension. Instead, you're grounding yourself. And this emotional steadiness becomes the bedrock for a more peaceful life. Number 3. Reconnecting with your true identity. Who are you when no one else is around? That's a powerful question. And for many older adults, the answer is surprisingly unclear until they live alone. One of the most unexpected and beautiful outcomes of solitude is rediscovering your identity, not as someone's parent, partner, or provider, but simply as you. Living alone strips away the expectations of others and gives you a chance to explore your interests, passions, and opinions once again. Maybe you loved painting when you were young but gave it up for work. Maybe you used to write poems, tend a garden, or dream of visiting local museums. Living alone gives you the time and space to do those things again, not for approval, not for anyone else, but because they bring you joy. Take Sylvia, for example. She's 82 and recently began attending local poetry readings. She hadn't written since high school, but now, with her quiet evenings and a notebook in hand, she feels more creatively alive than ever before. Living alone offers the space not just to be, but to become. And that personal growth, it doesn't stop just because you've reached retirement. In fact, it often accelerates. When the noise of others fades, the voice within you becomes clearer, stronger, and more confident. Number 4. Deeper, more meaningful social connections. One of the biggest fears people have about living alone is loneliness. But here's a surprising truth. Solitude often leads to more meaningful relationships. How? Because when you're not constantly surrounded by people out of necessity, you become more intentional about who you spend time with. You're not making conversation because you have to, you're choosing to connect because you want to. This leads to what psychologists call intentional socializing. Instead of quantity, you focus on quality. You reach out to friends who matter. You build new connections based on shared values and interests. And every visit, every call, every smile becomes more special. Let's talk about Samira, who's 80 and lives alone in a small apartment. Once a month, she hosts a tea circle with 3 other women from her community center. They talk about books, aging, love, grief, and dreams. These aren't shallow chats. They're heart-to-heart connections that nourish her soul. The beauty of living alone is that you have the emotional energy and space to be present for others. You're not drained by internal conflicts or routines you didn't choose. And that presence makes you more generous, more attentive, and more connected. Number 5. Creating a space that truly supports you. Finally, let's talk about something practical, yet deeply emotional, your living space. Living alone gives you full ownership of your environment. Everything from the furniture arrangement to the temperature of your bedroom can be tailored to your needs. And that kind of control translates directly into better physical and emotional health. When you design your space for safety, ease, and joy, you feel more grounded. No waiting for others to clean, cook, or adjust. You decide what foods are in the fridge, what music plays in the background, and whether the lights are dim or bright. Your home becomes not just a place, but a healing environment. There's also a sense of pride, a space that reflects who you are right now, not who you were 30 years ago, or who someone else needed you to be. You might decorate with soft colors, photos that bring you joy, indoor plants, or cozy seating. Every corner becomes a mirror of your values. And more than that, you can safeguard your health. From installing grab bars to organizing items within reach, every detail can support your mobility, comfort, and peace of mind. Take Richard, who's 85 and lives alone in a 1-bedroom cottage. He's installed soft lighting throughout the house, removed rugs to prevent slips, and placed his favorite books beside his armchair. He says walking into his home feels like stepping into a hug. When your environment supports your aging journey, you not only feel safer, you feel stronger. Finally, let's take a moment to reflect. Living alone gives you freedom over your daily routine. It nurtures emotional peace and mental clarity. It allows you to rediscover who you are and what you love. It deepens your relationships by making them intentional. And it empowers you to build a home that reflects and supports the person you are today. Solitude, when embraced with purpose, becomes a tool, not a trap. It becomes a gentle space for healing, joy, and discovery. Now, that's not to say living alone is the right choice for everyone. But for many older adults, it can be one of the most liberating, rewarding, and healthy decisions they ever make. If you're watching this and you've made peace with living alone, or you're starting to explore it, remember this: you are not alone in your solitude. You are part of a growing, powerful, and courageous community of seniors choosing themselves, choosing peace, freedom, and growth. If this video resonated with you, let us know in the comments. Just type "I choose freedom" below so we know you're still with us. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on the bell so you never miss another video made for your journey. Until next time, stay strong, stay grounded, and keep choosing the life that honors who you truly are.